Good morning. Welcome to Politics and Power on TSLNIGERIA TV. It's another Wednesday again, and time for us to look at politics and just oppose it with governance in Nigeria. It seems that because the election is just a few months away, governance seems to be suspended in almost all the states in the Federation as governors elected in various positions are busy politicking, thinking of how to grab power again. This morning on our show, we'll be looking at the rise of the third force. And I have with me this morning the chairman, of Labour Party in Edo State, the person of Mr. Kelly Ogbaloi. I guess I'm right, sir?
Yeah, I'm appropriately called Comrade Ogbaloi, KSE.
Okay, Comrade Kelly Ogbaloi.
KSE.
KSE. You're welcome. You're a ninth.
Not necessarily. KSEs are my initials.
Your initials, okay. Welcome, sir. Thank you very much. It's good to have you on set. So first,
my pleasure, too.
I'm going to start by first congratulating you on successfully hosting the presidential candidate of your party. How were you able to pull that through?
Well, we are also going to be very grateful to you too, because it is the goodwill of all of you we appropriated in that episode. And we can't hesitate to say thank you for all the support we've gotten from everybody in Edo State, including you here. I'm sure that we could have done nothing without the belief of people in what we are doing. So thank you very much.
Okay, secondly, there's this issue of you not getting the venue for the meeting and the response of the governor that you guys actually applied late. You see, there was no proper arrangement for the rally or what?
Well, the rally was properly arranged for, but I think all of that in the past now, and the Labour Party in itself as a serious political party has gone beyond that. We are moving forward, and we are taking fresh steps to ensure that we concretize on what we have done and to project more other things that can take us to where we want to be in 2023. I want to say this as to undermine the fact that phantom answers to questions like trying to do a kind of afterthought in responding to questions from the angle of the government will not make any issue better for us. The letter we have did not state that we applied late. That is the reason why we didn't get it. They wrote back to us to say that the facility is not meant for rallies and all the rest of it. So there was no issue of time. So if it's coming up now, I begin to wonder, what do you mean by that? So for us, Labour Party has moved forward.
Okay, now, a Labour Party as a party, I believe it is not just the presidential ticket you guys have thrown up for Nigerians to look at for. You guys have governorship seats across the Federation. You guys have for the senators, you have for House of Rep. Now, I want you to please, as the chairman of Labour Party in Edo State, to please help us, give us an in-depth understanding of this movement called the Obedient Movement, and try and marry it with that of what is Labour Party? What's the Obedient Movement? Do we have another party within the Labour Party? Because we interview some persons, they will tell you that we don't believe in the Labour Party. We are actually of the Obedient Movement. So are you not worried as the chairman of your party that you guys, a situation where you guys will just get the presidential ticket and lose every other business seat you're vying for?
Well, I think those who are going without opinion has created that dichotomy. They are insignificant and very few. Yes, the Obi movement is there, but Obi rides on the platform of our party, and you cannot deliver a candidate without a political party. So it is an e-thinking on the part of anyone to say that the Obi movement is separate from Labour Party. It's one and the same. It's we are firming up our efforts to ensure that we deliver, on the candidature of Obi and any other office that is contested. And that is the approach, and that is the resolve of the political.
No, as the chairman of the party, that's why I'm throwing this at you. Are you not worried, a situation when you see members of the Obedient Movement campaigning for your presidential candidate and still have other candidates in other political parties that they are campaigning for? Or you've not seen cases like that?
Well, that is not clearly before us, because we have always had meeting with the support groups and all of that. And any of those support groups which we have is a card-carrying member of the party. And so we have the understanding that we are not just doing a movement, because a movement is no political party. And then it's equally very dangerous when you think that, oh, well, as a movement, we are dealing with a single candidate. Because the ideology of the party and its candidate may be different, to the ones perhaps you want to say, oh, we will do this and we will do the other. No, it will work, because even in that respect, you are not happy the political, the presidential candidate himself. By the time you create a presidential candidate and give a foundation that is also coming from more security, then of course, what are we talking about? Yes, there can be a handful and a pocket of all of that. You cannot take it away from politics anyway. But I think the party is dealing with such problems.
Okay, situation when you feel that, okay, because what we're looking at the holistic, a situation where you see that what is happening in the United States now, the red wave. You can just be a president and not have a grip of both houses.
Yes.
And as the president, sworn-in president, you have issues driving your policies because you don't have support from both houses. So that's the reason why Nigerians need to know, as a party, are you guys, apart from feeding in your presidential candidate, is there anything you guys are deliberately doing to ensure you guys get to win majority in both houses of assembly and also across the states of the Federation?
Yeah, deliberately, because we have candidates, the House of Reps, Senate, House of Assembly, and of course, all of this, and they are all campaigning. Okay, they are campaigning as I speak with you. And that is a deliberate step, first of all. And we are reaching out to everyone. Like I said, yes, you cannot be sure that the totality of persons within a set of persons around an exercise might buy into it in their complete number. You can have a few issues like that, but I think they are not in majority as far as what Labour Party is doing, because we have candidates, and these candidates also are campaigning to people and to the public, and as a matter of fact, they are going to win the election. So I think that is not popular with us when people say, oh, well, it's the bill we are driving, or we are driving a movement, we are not driving it. It's not popular with us.
Okay,
it's not popular.
Now that we're discussing the rise of the third force and Labour Party fits in, because that's what Nigerians have been craving for, that we need an alternative to the two existing political parties we have on ground, the APC and the PDP. Now, there's this saying across both platforms, the APC and the PDP, that the reason why they feel it's going to be difficult for your party to be able to create a significant impact as far as election is concerned is because you guys don't have a structure. What is your take on this?
Well, we have been called to answer this aspect of the question over and over again. That is not coming new to us. But the fact is that how could anybody be talking of structures by now? Because what do you really mean by structures? Okay, Obi was just recently in town. What do you look at? What did you find out in the environment? The state was shut down completely. And so what are those ones called? Are they structures? So when people start asking questions about it, we laugh at that. It is that the other political parties, they are even business. They are business, because if you want to engage the election in February, then of course you must be thinking differently now on how to win the election than looking at us saying we don't have structure. What do you mean by that? The structures are all over the place. The party has its local government arrangement. You have the ward, you have the unit. All of this have been filled. But we are not going to bring this result to the opposition party to say, see, this is where we have them, see, this is. That's not what we are going to do. The structures are here. In this town, we did a 2 million man march, and I think it's before everyone. What are those ones called? We did a town hall meeting here in this town. Everywhere was shut down. So until the recent one we had now. So when you are still going to ask questions, people still coming with it, they know they don't have structure, they don't have. I begin to wonder, what do you call structure? Is it just the edifice? Is it just the building? Is it the decorated house where they have the offices that we call structures? Now, Labour Party is dealing with the strategic human structure as far as this election is going to be, as far as our operation is. We haven't been ready to do things like the other political parties because Labour Party hasn't stolen any money. So we are ready to spend what we have and very judiciously and bringing into bear that our principal is looking at a situation where this country will no longer be wakeful in the next generation of governance. So in that respect, therefore, we will do what we will do, but not to make comparison to this wakeful attitude of other political parties.
Now, politics is local. It's getting crowd for political rallies. You can't judge elections that way. Why the worry some persons they have is that on election day, you might not be able to. You need party agents in various wards, in various polling units to be able to mobilize votes for you. So the structure we are talking about here, we're not talking about a situation where you have some persons gather in King's Square. Because if you're talking about, if you're going to base the election on just, welcome the presidential candidate or to flag up the campaigns of the APC. So the question we're asking is this: when we talk about structure, your party, do you have men on ground to help carry out this election, not just the number of persons that will gather in King's Square or to welcome your principal?
Well, a serious political party like ours today, who is in dire need of winning this election, cannot afford not to have those kind of persons within the units. That's why I said that our local government structures, our ward structures, our unit structures have been built to such a standard that we are trying to consolidate. So we are aware how election is run, we are aware how it is won. So we could not have, by the standard of today, play with that. But why I answered in the way I did was, those crowds were not bought. Don't forget. We didn't send money to them. Don't forget. And so they are also...
You didn't send money from the secretariat
to say, please come.
Because we saw videos online.
Yes.
People were asking for money after the rally.
Well, if people walk, okay, then they need their refreshment.
Okay, good.
So if they...
I just want to get that one.
Yes, if after the rally and we provide refreshment like we said, yes, we may not have to spend money, but we know how to give for what has been done. So if you have to come to the place selflessly, and of course, it's part of the planning that after the exercise, people would normally be refreshed. And if we didn't have the environment to provide either the food items directly, we should be able to say, okay, you take this and go and help yourself. And that's what we did. So it's not that a crowd is paid to say we are doing this today, please come to this environment so that you could see that we are pulling crowd. That's not what was done. Don't forget that from the point of the airport, the crowd trekked from the airport with us to the Oba's Palace and back to that end where we have the grand finale at Baptist Convention Ground. So all of this is a serious business. Okay. So without necessarily judging from that crowd, you must know, therefore, that this crowd meant business. And they are going to walk their west at the end of the day. So however, I can tell you that strategically, we have everything it takes in the human person arrangement and those units, worlds, and all of that can give us a winning. Because we are not new to how an election will be fought and won.
Does it not worry you that the situation when you still have persons that will come to the rally and they still have to wait for them to be tipped? Because we saw videos online where people were waiting. They say, we've been here since morning and they promise they're going to give us this for us for refreshment, and you are here to give us this particular thing for refreshment, because that's exactly the same thing we see happening in other political parties.
No. I don't agree with you. What happened in the other political parties? They are chartered. Okay. They are chartered and paid heavily. That is what happened in the other political parties. We have done it. No, what's recruitment? No, okay. Nobody is recruited. Okay. They came up with their own desire to be in this movement, to be in what we are doing. Okay. There was no recruitment. Nobody was sent an invitation to say, oh, today this will happen. We simply went to the television and radio and say, well, Peter Obi is going to be in Edo State for so and so time. And there they were. So there was no group particularly called to mobilize. No, even the support group we had, nobody had any special meeting, to sensitize them towards the fact that Obi is coming. We must do this. We must do that. So that didn't happen. But Yes, like I said, there can be insignificant few in a great number that will be different from what is normal. So if that happens, it can be tolerated.
Okay, now a few weeks ago, your chairman did, there was a press day. The national chairman came up and he said something that elections in Nigeria is quite expensive, and Labour Party might be having challenges with finance to be able to fund the 2023 elections.
I think he was misquoted. Okay. He didn't say so. Mm-hmm. It is clear that elections are quite exorbitant. It's a business that demands money. Mm-hmm. And so if we are now trying to source for those funds, I don't think it's out of question. If the national chairman has to say the elections in Nigeria especially is a very serious business that asks for a lot of money to be thrown into it. But logistics and all of that need to be done even if you are not going to spend money. And I think that's what the national chairman said. He was saying that, he was not saying as a result of that we are going cap in hand asking for money. That's not what he said. But he made it clear to the public that it's a big business that needs money, and we are doing all in our best to ensure that we get the cash that we can get to prosecute the election. So in that respect, it was fully misquoted, and I think that have been debunked in several newspapers and, of course, television and other radios.
Okay, now, you are the chairman of Labour Party in Edo State, and I'm sure you're aware that there's no way you can come on set and I will not ask you this question. The issue going on between Comrade Imasuen and Honorable Ativie.
Well, Comrade Imasuen, I will, as a responsible people, which you are, which we are, we ask that we don't discuss that because we'll be running quartet of court. You must be aware by now that the matter is in court. So what again are we going to discuss about that? For us, we are very responsible and we want to discuss issues that are before the law.
What was the disturbing part of this whole thing is that Labour Party is seen as the alternative. One would expect that they should do things differently. If the old wagon that we have, the APC, the PDP, they still have to depend on the courts to resolve issues. Why? Because the lack of party internal democracy. We shouldn't get such from the Labour Party. You guys are the third force. We should see you do things different. There's a situation where you still have to rely on the courts to resolve party disputes.
Well, I won't be dragged to discussing the issue, even though you press for it. But let me tell you that politics is class struggle, don't forget, and there must be conflicts. And so if conflicts happened, where do you go responsibly? Is to go to the court. It's not meant for me or you.
The party don't have internal mechanisms to resolve issues.
Internal mechanisms could fail. Yes, why not? So what are we talking? No, what are we talking about? The assemblage of people does not mean that they should think the same way. Internal mechanism was put together, and if the people at the end of the day do not see the political party, what do? So we compare them.
One would expect the kind of person, the kind of politicians you have in your party.
Now let me quickly help you. What do you mean by the kind of politicians? Now you may be referring concretely to Murphy and Ativie in this kind. Now in this question. Yeah. Now, do we have to take? Do we ask them for credentials before they come to the party? No. You don't ask any politician to let us see your credentials before you take our form, before you do anything. So when they come, we see them. And so we begin to now determine them by their character. So if we put together an internal mechanism to settle a matter, and it does not seem to be acceptable by those concerned, the best place to go is court. So like I said, I wouldn't want to go and discuss anything around the issue of Murphy and Ativie because the matter is in court already. As a responsible people and a political party, we won't want to go to say, discuss issues like that because we must obey the laws of the land.
Now, I'm going to ask you this question because our time is fast spent. This is an all-important question. Do we see Labour Party beyond 2023?
Absolutely.
Is it a party that is just set up, or do you feel, or is it that this whole energy, this whole zeal, this whole zest we're having is just for 2023?
Labour Party existed before now, yes, so it is definitely will exist after the
day. No, you guys don't clinch the presidential seat. What happens to Labour?
But we are clicking it. So we are not pessimistic about getting that.
Yes.
So we are clicking it.
Yes.
The Labour Party existed before now, and it must continue existence at the end of the day. Yes. So, our existence is not tied around the success in the poll of any kind. But our drive is to ensure that we are successful, at elections. But that does not say that there are several political parties in this country who contested election win, and they are in existence. We have 40 political parties. How many have won elections? The presidency and others. And they are in existence as we speak. And then some of them, even when INEC was trying to review, yes, a number is left. So I'm assuring you that the life of the party is not tied around anything. It must exist as registered.
So that brings us to the first question I asked. Yeah. The situation when you have more of the obedient than Labour Party members. That's the reason.
No, that is not correct. What censor do you have? That is why I said those who are saying they are obedient movement, they are members of the party. They have our cards.
So no matter what happens at the end of the
day, they are coming back to the party.
Good. So which means that your party is willing to accept the result.
Which result now? Which result are you
talking? It's free, fair, and credible. Even if it's going to go to for favor against you, no matter the way it swings, your party will accept.
No, we are not pessimistic. We are optimistic that we win this election. So we are not going to take anything less than that because we are working for it. So let us not begin to think that, if you don't win, what happens? No, we will win. That is the idea.
Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure.
Comrade Kelly Ogbaloi.
It is my pleasure. Thank you.
I'm going to give you the next few minutes, just 2 minutes to speak to our audience concerning the chances of your party. Just say you guys will win, but just like tell them why they needed to ditch the alternative and come for your party.
Well, first, I want to thank the audience out there listening to me. We have always been grateful to you and will continue to be grateful to you. This is more so that you have completely buy into the idea of being part of us and driving this process of ensuring that our country is taking, off the hands of those who have kept it down, remove us from the shackles of debt, poverty, and sicknesses that has bedeviled the entire governance of Nigeria. Today, Labour Party is before you, and we're asking you to give us the support that is required, which you are already giving. Just push up the tempo to 2023 and ensure that we are there. There is no alternative political party to Labour Party today because it is Labour Party that had come from the beginning of time to think of humanity. And that is why its logo is showing you the man, the woman, and the child. The idea is to ensure that the prosperity of this set is guaranteed the government that will provide for Nigeria in 2023. And that is why you could see the fabricated iron around it to tell you that we are definitely ready for industrialization. We are ready to ensure that the group of persons, the unemployed in the society, are taken off the street, and that is what that also symbolizes. We are also not going to be wasteful like any other government that we have had, and that is where we are. I ask you to join us.
And if I give Comrade the next 3 hours, he will keep campaigning. You have been asking my questions. Brief. When it comes to letting us do or campaigning to us for a political party, you see, he's going to take the long haul. This is how far we can go on our show this morning. Do well to follow us across all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at TSLNIGERIA TV, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel at TSLNIGERIA TV. And please, once you subscribe, do not fail to click on the notification bell so that you'll be the first to be notified anytime our videos drop. Until I come your way again next week, Monday, God willing, it is bye from me.